thinned out a little bit.
I know. That's okay.
What's that?
These are the few and the proud. Dwindle down to. These are the few.
Ron had to go
We
DJ.
prefer it like this.
Huh?
Y'all are the guys who love it.
He's looking for Josh Robinson.
We're the ones who won't ask you if this is like Christmas for you.
Yeah, y'all are it's down. Y'all love it. Down to 4. I gotta get one. There we go. It's always like Christmas for you. I don't know about Christmas, right?
No, it was quite an effort.
I can say this: the 4th round pick seems like a long time ago. I can open it with that. I don't know what time it is right now.
General thoughts on the draft and I guess you ended up with 10 players, I guess.
Is that how many we got? 10?
I think so, yeah. Out of 8 with a couple trade downs. Just general thoughts on how things went.
I think the general thoughts. I think we accomplished some of our goals, and they were with each pick try to get them right, try to get the best available, and also help position groups. And I think our defensive line got helped. I think our defensive backfield got helped, and I think our running back position got helped, and I think our wide receiver position got helped. So I think that was a nice, productive day with young players, and now it's up to these players to do their part.
Your thoughts,
Yeah, I would echo what Les said. You know, I think the most impressive thing, you know, throughout all day yesterday and then through 4 today was that the board was right. And that's a compliment to Les and his staff and scouts and just getting the board right, you know, and very few people were coming off the board down here, back over here. They just came off kind of in sequence of how we had ranked them. So that gives you at least gives you an opportunity to predict and have a chance to get the right guy at the right time. We discussed numerous trades that never took place, as always is the case in the draft. Had a lot of players up there that you would really like to have, but you don't get because there's 31 other teams. And then we got numerous calls from our friends and associates around the league that said, "Boy, we really like that guy," and "Wow, what a great pick that guy!" Or "We were going to take him the very next pick." And so all in all, I thought it was a very, very successful draft. You know, you look at it, and I was just looking at it a little while ago, Abilene Christian, Hawaii, Missouri Western, you know, and there's some talent at the small schools, and we did our research, and we felt like we got the best players available.
Do you think, so you take 2 wide receivers, do you think you did enough to help Sam Bradford in terms of wide receivers?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, with their abilities, unique abilities, one guy can really, really run and can make the home run play, and then Brian's ability just as a complete receiver, we think we clearly helped him. And then, of course, you can't discount what somebody like Isaiah is going to be able to do out of the backfield in a change-up role. So we felt like we helped him, and you know, I also want to say that his staff just moments ago just finished agreeing to terms to almost 20 college free agents.
Already?
Yes.
Wow.
That's impressive. Job. Sorry. Yeah. Coaches, scouts, everybody, and just boom. So we've.
Does it normally go that quick, Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, yes and no, but I mean, it was really, you know, when you got a roster, for example, you got 3 safeties on your roster, and you contact undrafted college free agents that play the safety position, you got a pretty good chance of getting them, you know. And so, you know, with the need positions and things, it was it was extraordinary effort.
You talked a little bit about the Chris Gibbons, but just both you guys, any more elaboration on what you liked about him as a player?
You know, he was a fast player at the combine. He's a 4.3 guy on the clock, but I think you better be able to figure out, like I've said, if he can play fast. And this guy plays very, very fast, and I think that's just going to give us a dimension. You know, he'll be one of our fastest receivers on our team. So that's just going to open up things for, like I said, I know everybody, hey, it seems like the room, you're one player away, you need one wide receiver away. But I think offenses, you know, it's more than one player. You know, it's like Jeff said, Isaiah Peed and what he brings. It's Steven and the power. It's this guy stretching the field. It's Amendola doing his thing inside. It's Big Brian Quick giving in a big target. So there's just weapons that spread and keep a defense on its heels.
You mentioned players anxious to come, like with the safeties. When we were talking to Aaron Brown we asked him what he knew about the Rams, and he said nothing, but I do know they had only 4 linebackers. So I guess you're right, the word gets out. What about him? I mean, is he 7th round? Is he more?
Yeah, you know, he's a explosive player, 2-year starter there at Hawaii. He was a JC guy, Saddleback Junior College, very explosive. You know, he's a little over 6 foot, about 235 pounds, runs well, tackles well, tough guy. I mean, real tough guy. And that's the kind of guy that you think has a chance to fill in a linebacker spot. If worst case scenario where we're picking, he sounds like a premier special teams fit.
Your numbers are still pretty down on linebackers. Are you concerned about that at all? Or,
Not concerned. We've got options. We've got options in the pro free agent market as well. So
They're actually full now, considering the college free agents we just signed. But like we've said before, we'll continue to exhaust all avenues to try to improve this football team. And I think that's the stage we're at. We went through free agency and got, you know, solid. I mean, real players. I call them players that that started in the NFL. Then you go through this draft process and you get young prospects, and then you go through college free agency, and then I think at the end, we'll sit back over the next couple of weeks and see if all of a sudden there's a hole that we really need to fill through maybe another veteran that's still available.
Do you feel like you have 3 starting linebackers right now under contract or about to be under contract?
well, we've got we feel good about obviously Joe Lon knowing the system, James and Josh. Josh has really had a good offseason, so we're gonna let everybody compete. And as we addressed earlier, we're in a situation where 60% of the time you've only got 2 on the field anyway. Considering you're going to be in your sub packages.
You ever draft bigger before?
No, I don't believe I have.
What'd you see here?
Well, his numbers. Coach Foster went out and did private workouts with a number of kickers and punters, and he came back and was blown away at the leg, and the distance on the kickoff, the distance and accuracy in the field goal game. 23 to 24 and 9 over 50, and I guess 2 over 58 in one game. It's extraordinary. So we felt like this was going to be a need. We need to upgrade the position, and so we couldn't pass on this opportunity, and we're glad we didn't, because you saw what Minnesota did right after.
What does this do to Josh Brown?
This means Josh Brown will be released tomorrow, and he's already been informed that. Josh was a great kicker and is tremendous here in the community, and has got deep roots here. But I spoke with him immediately after the pick, and he understands.
I'm assuming you're going to sign a punter, a rookie free agent punter. I mean, if that's the case, how do you feel, Coach, about you could go into a season with a rookie punter and a rookie kicker?
I have no problem whatsoever. No, they're only going to get better. Let me sidestep here just for a moment. We've agreed to terms to a number of players. We're not going to release it till the contracts are obviously signed for obvious reasons, but that would be one of the players. And so I have no problem whatsoever. This punter in particular is very, very talented. And
just to scare Coach a little bit, we didn't mention rookie Holder as well.
That
would be the punter.
Yeah.
So, and second-year long snapper that we really like.
Have you ever had anything like that?
You know what? We're not going to punt this year. So I'm not worried about it. Just kidding.
This is our first view of you guys doing your thing, but is this all very aggressive? You took some chances, maybe, and made some bold moves. I mean, is this how you guys intend to roll here?
We came in here expecting to win, and we're going to do what it takes within reason. And again, we mentioned that we had taken players off the board. There were players in a drawer. Okay, there were some players in the drawer. Yeah, for whatever reason. But the guys that we had on the board, we feel like we got at the right time.
And I'll elaborate a little bit, Jim. I think when you have so many picks, or let's call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the top 65, I looked at it a little bit like a mutual fund. It allowed you maybe to take a risk at 1 for talent. Whereas if you might have had just less picks, you may go a little, less riskier. But I think this was what this draft enabled us to do, and that's what we did. And you want that try to get first round talent in the second round.
Yeah, and my question maybe a little even broader scope, just your whole off season, the way you guys have operated. That was obviously a blockbuster trade with Washington. Doesn't seem like you guys are afraid to do things. Some GMs and head coaches are a little more conservative, maybe.
Well, I mean, we're not necessarily taking chances. I look at it more from the standpoint of we're going to be aggressive. This team has lost more games in 5 years than any team in franchise history. We're going to put a stop to that. In order to do that, you've got to go fill some holes, and you have to be aggressive at that.
Can't be scared.
Thank you.
No one could be happier to be drafted than your 7th rounder. He was unbelievable.
Yeah, when he was on the
talking about Darryl?
Richardson.
Running back?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. He said he had 300 people at his house. They were all whooping him.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Whooping and hollering.
Remember that little town he lived